You can't write offers, you can't negotiate, you can't buy closing gifts, you can't put a check in the bank if you can't find the clients. The genius of what I do is I give the client everything they need to know to make a decision before I open my mouth. When we do one of these, we give our seller all the information they need, right? They know who the agent is, we have our asking price, and we have their offer. So right there, we're asking this, here's their offer. And a lot of times I'll put 20,000 low. We have their earnest money and we have their down payment. We have anything they're asking for in the sale, say a couch, washing machine, hot tub. We've got whether or not it's contingent, the type of financing, who their lender is, any credits, and the credits are twice. Remember, things that cost money are red. And then we have the buyer agent commission because it costs the seller money, it's red, unless the buyer's paying it themselves. Other seller expenses, that would be, if it's rural property, could be well inspection expenses, there could be septic inspection expenses, there could be someone that wants to have the property surveyed, maybe have the seller pay for it. Inspection period, close date, possession date, home warranty, title company, and when the offer expires. And then we do the math on what they're gonna walk away with, and then we have a recommendation on one page, and our answers are in bold, things that cost them money are in red. They have enough information to make a decision. You have to do this for all of your clients. We now do it for our tenants as well, right? We have tenants that signed the 12, 15, 20 page lease. Do you think they understood what they signed? Do you think your buyer or your seller understands what they're signing if it's not explained? And if they wake up at 2 a.m., they're not going to find it in line 238, page 6, last paragraph on the right. But they can reference this, right? This is their cheat sheet. We all see the world through our perception, right? My life experiences have created a lens for which I see the world. And then Letitia's had different life experiences, and so she sees the world through a different lens. So when we disagree, it's because our perceptions are different. It's not that someone is wrong, it's the perception is different. So none of us would wake up and make a financial decision that is going to devastate us financially, right? You think you're doing the best that you know how to do. But then to take it to the next level is, how are other people going to see this? How are other people going to perceive it? That's really when you get good at sales, is understanding that you have one view and you think you're justified in everything you do. Who wakes up and says, I'm gonna do some dumb shit today. I'm gonna do stuff that is counterproductive to my life goals, right? No one does that, except for psychopaths. They actually do. They're like, aha. But the rest of us, we're doing the best we can. We just are doing the wrong things because we haven't been taught or our perceptions are off. That's the life hack is, okay, this is the way I see it. How are they seeing it? Which is how we manage the perceptions, the expectations with something like this, something that's a lot more clear. Okay, gentlemen, ladies. Okay, so this is the journey. You start here. Every transaction starts here, and then you wind your way through and you end up with repeat referral, okay? This is, number one is prospecting. Anyone have an idea what prospecting is? Calling people is an example of prospecting. So prospecting is the act of looking for business, right? And there's a lot of ways we can do that. There's people that have YouTube channels, they prospect with their YouTube channels. They post content locally, relevant content. They put keywords in, they create it, they put it out there, they're consistently, that's prospecting, right? They're looking for people, looking on YouTube for real estate. If you're no good at prospecting, you don't get to move forward, right? And the reason you don't get to move forward is because you have nothing to move forward to, right? You're out there in the woods, in the hills, and you just randomly digging holes and you're panning for gold, but you're getting no gold. You have no gold, right? There's no sense in going to town because you don't have any money to buy a new shovel or to get the new equipment or whatever. So the gold miner dies at prospecting, right? So the first step is to get good at finding the gold. Get good at finding the buyer, get good at finding the seller, get good at finding the referral partner. You have to get good at this. This is step one. And you don't get to move on down the lane until you've done that. Does that make sense? You can't write offers, you can't negotiate, you can't buy closing gifts, you can't put a check in the bank if you can't find the clients, right? And as they say, there's gold in these hills. That makes sense? So this is step one in your journey. So I have call, email, text, get as many as you can and pick the best. So once we get them, then we convert. But you can't convert your gold if you don't have any gold, if you haven't found it. Fair? Building rapport, scripts. Like, remember, we're humans. We should have human conversations, not weirdo conversations. That's why the easiest deals you're going to get are from your sphere, people that know you, like you, and trust you. Don't use scripts on them. Just be a normal person. Hey, Sally, how's the dog? I saw fleas jumping off of it last week. Did you get that taken care of? Normal talky stuff, right? Do we all have friends? We should be able to talk to our friends about real estate. Man, that's tough right now. Who do you know? You know anyone I could learn? Or, hey, how can I help you in your business? I know it's tough out there in general. Interest rates are high, inflation, blah, blah, blah. How can I help you? So we convert, and then we have the appointment. So we're looking for buyers and sellers. We found a couple. We actually spoke to them. We converted them from a prospect to a lead, and then we set the appointment with them. And then every presentation is the same. Because if every presentation isn't the same, then you have no way of knowing whether or not what you're doing works, right? You did it this way and it didn't work. And you did it this way and it didn't work. You did it this way and it worked. And you did it this way and it worked. And you did it this way and it didn't. You've got no consistency, right? But then it goes back to, if I don't have enough people to talk to, and if I can't convert them, I'll never get good at the appointments, because you need a lot of this to get good at this. And then you start to see patterns, right? Your brain starts to identify, hey, I prefer to talk to these kind of people. I like this kind of lead. Open houses seem to work better for me. Door knocking is actually kind of my forte. YouTube is where I'm getting a ton of interest, oddly enough, right? But you don't get that if you're not doing it. That's why I give you guys shit when you all leave at 10 a.m. It's like, you can't possibly be doing this enough to even get to here. Right? And then once you do this a bunch, then you got to get good at converting. Right? Now you got all these people that are calling you back and you're sending market reports to, and they have a question. Shit, now what? Well, we need to meet, right? And we need to have our meetings be the same every time. My buyer consult should be the same every time. My seller consult should be the same every time. When I meet with a landlord, it needs to be the same every time. And if we don't have that cadence, then we get our inconsistent results here. And remember, each one of these is a stopping point. You have to get good at this before you can get good at this. Then you have to get good at this before you can get good at this. I think a lot of us are failing at the appointment. We don't understand what the purpose of this appointment is. Okay, the purpose of prospecting is to get people on the phone, to get their information, to see if they're interested in real estate, right? What's the purpose of the appointment though? Jason, let's say you're a buyer and I found you, right? Maybe I've been texting around the neighborhood. Hey, this is Adam from EXP. I've got a listing coming up. If you know anyone interested in moving to the area, let me know. Here's some details about it. And Jason says, ooh, tell me more. He just turned prospect, turned it to a lead. Fantastic, Jason. When's a good time? Like, I get you on the phone, or we can meet in person for coffee, cocktail, what works for you?
Coffee.
Perfect. All right, Jason. How about Starbucks on Delta Waters tomorrow at 10? Or it would be better at 2?
10.
Perfect, 10 o'clock. Now, Jason, before I get off the phone with you, is there any reason you can think of that you wouldn't be able to make it to Starbucks tomorrow at 10?
No.
Okay, perfect. I'll see you tomorrow at 10. I'll text you about 9 o'clock to remind you.
Perfect.
So it's 9 a.m., right? I've already, he's like, this guy's pretty good. 9 a.m., hey, Jason, it's Adam. Just double check we're still good for 10. Because I'm doing it to show Jason I follow up and I follow through, but I really don't want to go to Starbucks and get stood up. It's like, who's been stood up? You're like, dude. Feel good or bad? I'm trying to manage my emotions too, right? Because we're people, and if you keep getting shit on, it makes it harder. All right, so Jason and I sit down. Why am I meeting with Jason? Right? We went from boom to boom to boom. But why am I meeting with Jason? Why am I meeting with you?
Build rapport, trust.
What's rapport?
Just getting to know each other, building confidence.
Mark comes in at interviews, right? And we chit chat. Get to know Mark a little bit. Mark gets to know me, kind of tell him the story, what we're doing, how it works, tells me about his work history, how he worked for one of the biggest landlords in the world, right? So we built rapport. Like, I kind of know who Mark is. I wasn't like, hey, bro, like, second he walks the door, write this eviction notice. He's like, oh, shit. Okay. Like, that's weird. Lee's like, I don't know if I want to work for that guy. Like, there's no connection, right? So rapport is connecting. We're connecting. Hey, oh wow, man, Rutledge Property Group. Yeah, I went to high school with Adam. Oh, really? Yeah, I worked for him. Yeah, or whatever it is. Like, oh, I have long hair too. Wow, what do you use to condition it? Like, just getting to know, right? That's rapport. Getting to know, right? And we're always thinking, do I want to work with this person? And this person's thinking, do I want to work with that person? Right? It's a two-way street. So we set the appointment. Starbucks at 10. The first step is to build rapport. The Asian culture is very good at this. Japanese business people, you'll talk to them for an hour before you ever mention business, right? So you're feeling it out. But how do you get good at feeling it out? You got to do a lot of appointments, right? And you can do fake appointments with your friends. You can do fake appointments with your family. You can do fake appointments with a teddy bear, right? Like, but you have to understand once we're meeting, we're going to get to know each other. You don't want to just jump right into it unless they're indicating that. Jason, I've identified Jason is a buyer. He rents down the road from Honor Drive. He responded to my mass text. We're connected at Starbucks. What kind of questions am I going to ask Jason knowing that he's thinking about buying? Yeah, why are you moving? Why now? How can I help you? Are you working with a real estate agent? Have you ever bought a home before? What keeps you up at night? What do you like about where you live? What don't you like about where you live? What's a non-negotiable in the next house? What location would you like to be in? Do you have a monthly payment that you're comfortable with? And what am I doing with this information?
Taking notes, pre-qualifying.
And what is the purpose of me taking notes and pre-qualifying this person? I'm not going to remember everything. And then do you think it would be smart for me to set up a search as soon as I got back to the office with those parameters and put all those notes in Brevity?
Yes.
So now we know that when you meet with someone, you have to get to know them some way, right? We say rapport. We use these big words, but no one knows what we're talking about. Like, oh, I'm building rapport, like R-A-P-P-O-R-T. Huh? I'm getting to know you. We're getting comfortable, right? I should be able to text Jason after the meeting, say, hey, it was great meeting with you. Going back to the office to set up a search for you. I'm going to find a couple good ones. Do you have time to look at some homes this weekend? Okay. Like the purpose of the meeting at the end of the day, what the fuck do you want so I can find it for you? And inside of that, are you working with another agent because I don't work for free, right? Are you ready, willing, and able to buy a home? That's the whole purpose. So what's closing at the appointment look like for a buyer? Let's define closing. What is closing in the context of sales? Signature, right?
Buyer broker.
If I closed a listing appointment, what happened at the listing appointment that caused me to say we closed them?
Sign the listing agreement.
If we closed at a car dealership, what happened for the car dealer sales dude to say we closed them? We inked a deal, right? We signed something. We signed paperwork. Closing is signing, right? If we close a tenant, we got them to sign the lease. If we close a landlord, we got them to sign the management agreement. Does closing mean that the work is done for us? No. So here, right, we sign a buyer broker. We've connected with them. We figure out what they want. We figure out whether or not what they want is realistic. Worst thing if they're a good fit for us. And if they are a good fit, say, okay, fantastic. It's the law now. You guys have it way easier than I did 10 years ago. Back in the day, no one got buyer broker agreements except for me. But that was like, I don't work for free. So if you're not going to agree to have me as your real estate agent, I don't have the time to just show you property. I've got a newborn baby, and I'm not really going to skip spending time with my kids and my wife for someone that may or may not commit to working with me, right? Like what? Why would I work for you when you don't guarantee that you're going to actually agree to pay me? So now, hey, it's the law. I cannot show you a residential property without a signed agreement. So then the closing is, I think I can help you find your 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,500 square foot, $386,000 house in North and East Medford. You know, at least a 1/4-acre lot, room for a pool in the backyard, RV parking. So I've just asked them what they want, and I've got an idea of what's going on here. We're friends. We've connected at some level. And then the next natural step is to repeat to them what they said to you. And you can just read because you took your notes. And they go, okay, I feel like Adam understands what I'm looking for, and I'm willing to commit to working with him as a real estate agent. That's the closing. That's the purpose of the appointment. Same thing when I go meet with a seller. Hey, I'm thinking about selling my house. Fantastic. I've got a few questions for you before we meet, right? We pre-qualify them. You guys have these scripts. Boom. We're at the appointment. We do the walkthrough. We're running numbers. Why you moving? When you need to be there? What do you love about the house? What do you hate about the house? What'd you like about your last real estate agent? What didn't you like about your last real estate agent? Taking my notes, say, okay, great, guys. I think I can get the job done for you. I'm going to be doing the things that you said you liked about your last agent. I think we're agreeable on pricing. Let's get the ball rolling. By signing some paperwork today, I'll get photos scheduled tomorrow, get a sign in by Friday, we'll be on the market next Wednesday. You should have a buyer broker agreement. And you should have them on the table. Hey, at the end of this meeting, like if things go well, I'm going to ask you to be my friend via signing this contract, right? If you want me to show you guys homes, I need you to sign this. It's the law. It's a non-negotiable. Oh, right? Like state your intentions. Hey, we're meeting because you want to buy a house, right, Jason?
Yes.
And I'm a real estate agent. I sell houses. So would it be fair if at the end of our conversation, if you felt comfortable and I felt like I could help you, that we did a paper handshake and we signed a little contract so I could do my job for you? Would that be okay? That'd be weird?
No.
Would it be weird if I didn't? As a buyer, would you be confused if I showed up and didn't know what the hell I was doing and then just left you in mystery?
No.
Right? It's weird to do this wrong. People go, what? They took time out of their day, right? Everyone's busy. We're all so busy. So you actually got someone that's willing to meet with you and then you forgot what you're supposed to do. It's kind of weird, right? So just, you have to understand this is all a logical thing. Then we got service. This could all happen in a day, by the way. This is not some long drawn out process. Ring, 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 ring. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing something. Cool, let's connect. Hell yeah, I'll list that puppy. Boom, now we're in service. So when you're servicing a buyer, what would be some examples of servicing a buyer after you got the buyer broker side?
Showing them homes. What else?
So Victor said he's going to show them homes. What other things as an agent would you do to take care of a buyer who just signed with you? Oh, I would look for homes for them to see. Now, Jason, what does follow up mean?
Just keeping in contact at least, once every 7 days. A phone call.
Maybe, hey, I saw this one and thought of you. Answering their questions. Would maybe looking outside of what they want be a good idea? People are like, I want nothing under 1,400 square feet. They're like, why you send me 1,200 square footers? I'm like, because the last guy said that bought a 1,250 square footer because it felt big. And you don't know what the fuck you want, but I know what you want. Wouldn't that be weird if your real estate agent actually knew more about real estate than you? And you told them what you want, but they knew that you probably would go outside of those bounds. And typically the boundaries they give you, they never actually purchase in. It's always outside of those. No more than 600. They're writing for 750. I don't want anything bigger than this. And they're writing for the big work because it felt right. And it totally missed their radar. And because you're a smart real estate agent, you added value. And because you listened to them and you took notes and you thought about what this client wanted, because if I don't listen to them and I don't take notes and I don't think about this client, how can I possibly sell them a house if I don't know what they want? Would that all be service? Searching for them on a consistent basis. Sending them properties on a consistent basis to let them know you're working for them, to keep them engaged. Because can people kind of get disinterested in real estate and fall off? And then pop up and call another agent because you forgot to follow through with them. And you really weren't that good because you really didn't listen and you really didn't read your notes again. And you forgot to set them up on a property search. And they're like, I forgot we ever met, dude. Oh, we did sign a contract, you're right. But what happened to this service, bro? Okay, then after service, communication and follow through, we get to negotiate. What's negotiation? Calling the seller's agent and saying, what would it take for my people to get this home? How often do we not even pick up the phone before we write an offer? Like fools. Hey man, what's important to your seller? Hey, why are they moving? What's going on with the house? What are your thoughts on it? What forms do you prefer? What title company do you prefer? They're using Quicken. Is that going to be okay with you? Or is that going to be a problem? Negotiating, calling. Thoughtful. So in order to negotiate for your client, you need to communicate with the other side. You need to sell your client. Oh man, okay, we've been looking for 6 months. We met Starbucks 10 a.m. on a Tuesday. They gave me this whole long list of things. I've been connecting with them, man. We've gone to coffee a couple more times. We've looked at 35 homes. I sent them this one specifically, even though it wasn't quite in their parameters, and they loved it. They're totally qualified, high income, fantastic credit. We're not going to flick you shit on the inspection either. We just want this house. What is it going to take for us to get this house? So let's finish it off, right? So we negotiate here. It's price, it's terms, it's close date, it's the couch, it's protecting your client. If the seller or the seller's agent's a total psycho, you don't tell your client any of that. You let them know that the seller's an angel and the seller's agent's amazing at what they do, and you take that brain damage. You don't ever pass along emotion through yourself to your client, ever. You're cool as a cucumber no matter what's happening on the other side. Got it? Never say, oh my God, this guy's such an ass to your client. And never say, oh, that house is way too expensive, right? Because you're blowing up deals left and right by doing that stuff. Like I got some nut jobs I'm dealing with right now, and the other side will never know. If I'm repping a crazy seller, the buyer agent thinks we're cool as cucumbers because we don't need it. No one needs it. No one needs to know about that stuff. That's also negotiating. Then you get clear to close. You get paid, right? This is admin and compliance. We're missing initials here. We're missing signature there. We need this form. We need that form. And then you get to, because you did such a good job, they like you. They're in Brivity. Their home anniversary set in there. You call them on their home anniversary. You invite them to our client appreciation events. And you get repeat business, and it goes all the way back to step one. Actually, the repeat starts at converting. Hey, my sister wants my house. They prospected for you. But remember, you don't get to move to converting if you can't figure out how to talk to people on the phone or get their information at an open house or talk to the line at Safeway or whatever you're doing, right? You don't really get to go past converting until you know how to convert them into actually meeting with them, right? Like, oh, hey, you're interested in that house? Great. Was it the price or the location that you liked better? You start the process. Great. Keep them on the phone. Build a little rapport, right? And then we meet with them, right? And if the meeting goes well, then we go for a closing. And if we close them, which means they sign something, then we have to service them. We actually have to do our job. Find them homes, right? So we're looking for buyers and sellers. And then when we catch one, we got to find the seller a buyer. We have to advertise, market, do open houses for them. And then if we lock down a buyer, now we got to go find houses for them to buy. We have to be looking for them. Because if we don't, they will find someone else that will, right? Then we negotiate for them. We sell them, we sell the product, we keep our cool, we don't pass emotion through. You deal with the brain damage. That's what we get paid to do, is we get paid to deal with the brain damage, right? We don't need Mark calling landlords all the time saying how shitty a tenant is. That's just gonna give the landlord heartburn for no good reason. Mark's gonna deal with it. That's what you pay us for, right? Gina's gonna deal with it. Sometimes even Alyssa. Right, then we close, get paid. If we did a good job, we get more business from it. You do this a whole bunch of times, you make a whole bunch of money. But remember, these are all different break points.